Good morning. I would like to welcome you all to the Grade 8 closing ceremony. I'm thrilled that we can be here together in person to celebrate this amazing class of students. First, I'd like to recognize the family members and guests who are here with us today. It is wonderful and honestly a little bit emotional to welcome you all back to campus. Over the last 15 months, my colleagues and I have seen and heard and been uplifted by your support and your partnership. You all deserve tremendous recognition and credit for your perseverance and patience as we've navigated a new middle school program this year. As educators, we are fortunate to work with such an incredible group of students. The outstanding young people they are, and the things that I know they will achieve, speak wonders of the love and support that you, their family, and friends show them each and every day. The grade 8 class of 2021 has accomplished so much in their time in the middle school. They are a class that is defined by their strength, their care and compassion for one another, their leadership, and their sense of community. Grade 8 students, from the get-go, you are a class known for your fun-loving nature, your vibrant personalities, and your intellectual curiosity. At the start of this year, you set an example for the younger grades by rising to the challenge and embracing a whole new model of schooling. As a group, you've set a new standard for grade 8 talks and community engagement opportunities. And I am confident that your commitment to social justice will propel you and inspire others as you head off to high school. Every day, I have witnessed you supporting one another, solving problems, engaging in complex discussions, and taking risks in ways that never cease to amaze me. I've also witnessed you go through the discomfort and the messiness of middle school. All of you, at one point or another, have struggled with friendships, questioned your academic abilities, and experienced self-doubt. But those chances to grow are of no less importance or value. The way that you respond to these challenges speaks to your character and ultimately will define your story. It might seem like a race to get to the other side, but I promise you that the strategies, the persistence, the depth of character, and the sense of identity that you have developed through your time as a middle schooler will serve as an amazing foundation as you continue to grow and experience new adventures. In many ways, this was a year of disconnection. We learned in cohorts, held community meetings over Zoom, and ate lunch separated by 6 carefully measured feet under this tent. Families, I wish you could have seen what that looked like. It was really something to behold. In a relatively short amount of time, however, we learned to adapt. We harnessed the power of remote connections to reach a wider audience, for parent-teacher conferences, for outside speakers, to build and sustain friendships, to send love and support to one another from afar, and ultimately to endure through our continued learning and growing. And yet, perhaps more than anything, this year of restrictions has illuminated the ways in which we had taken for granted the relative ease of being able to be physically together in community. In-person connections afford us opportunities to learn from one another, to communicate on multiple levels, to more easily hold each other and ourselves accountable, and to feel strengthened by our commonalities and sense of belonging. We are reminded when we are together of the impact that our words and actions have on one another, the importance and the power of empathy. It is really, truly astonishing what you have been able to accomplish as 8th graders in a year of distancing and limited face-to-face connections. You've allowed yourselves to be vulnerable, sharing and listening to one another's perspectives and unique narratives. You've grown together, celebrated one another's identity. As this year of restrictions comes to a close, I am inspired by the potential of what you can, and what I can say confidently will do next. As you gather together this summer and next year, sharing meals, sharing stories, sharing adventures with each other in person, take a moment to pause, think about what you've just been through, and soak in the joy of the company around you. You are ending your middle school journey in a time that is defined in part by uncertainty and injustice, but is also defined by an ever-expanding, unwavering, and palpable sense of hope. You already know this. The voice that you have, both as individuals and as a group, is powerful, and I implore you to use it. Don't doubt for 1 second the change that it can bring. You are young, sure, and too many people may doubt you for that, but be present. Embrace the opportunity of being able to stand together in community and love who you are in this moment. Your hope, confidence, and the strength of your character are awe-inspiring. Grade 8 class of 2021, I wish you all the best as you head into high school. Know that all of us in the Milton Academy Middle School will be cheering you on and supporting you. Thank you. I would now like to welcome Ms. Vasquez at the grade 8 team to share a few remarks about our 2 grade 8 seniors.
Over the last year, I've had the great fortune to be the grade 8 team. It has been a pleasure to watch the 8th graders all grow as learners, thinkers, and citizens of this community. It is my honor and privilege to introduce our student speakers. These students were selected by their peers to represent them here today. James McAvoy is our first student speaker. He was selected by his peers for his confident voice and proven ability to craft and deliver a thoughtful and powerful message. In their nominations, classmates spoke to his authenticity, positivity, sense of humor, and confidence in himself as well as his words. Many of his classmates were impressed, inspired, and in awe of his 8th grade talk. As one classmate put it, his 8th grade talk was amazing, and I think he deserves to give us another speech. Indeed. Please welcome James to the stage. September 2016 was the most exciting experience I had faced during my 10 years of life, except it sucked. Being around new people after moving halfway across the country was a small change, and I did it alone. It was pretty intimidating and pretty miserable. Honestly, I hated Milton at the time. Well, I guess that big risk must have paid off, because here I am, 5 years later, graduating from the 8th grade. I took that risk alone. And although I learned a lot from it, it was a lot for my elementary school self to handle. So here we are, about to make a similar transition into high school, but this time, unlike my younger self, we are not alone. Without a doubt, we've all learned and grown these past 3 years, something that could not have been achieved if it weren't for the people sitting around us right now. We did not get here alone, and we must continue to have that sense of unity as we move forward into our next 4 daunting years in the high school. The risk of moving halfway across the country to come to Milton was not the first risk I've taken, nor will be the last, like many of you. After taking the plunge into a whole new environment here, my years at Milton have always been paired with some uncertainty. I will admit that I've struggled here at Milton. However, I've always had this grade to lean on. Whether I'm faced with everyday challenges or long projects that see no end, this community has pushed me to be a better friend, student, and see the world through multiple lenses in the face of adversity. The most important part of this community to me is you all, the class of 2025. All of you sitting in front of me today have inspired me greatly, and now that I'm about to graduate from the middle school, I can finally say I wouldn't have been able to do it without the support from all of you. I know that many of you can relate to taking risks with the support of others behind you. And no, I'm not talking about running to the snack bar last minute before class as one of your friends tells the teacher you to do a last minute bathroom run. I am talking about doing something outside of your comfort zone with the knowledge that your friends will be there to back you up. These integral risks that we take so very often, either alone or with friends, are essential to our growth as people. Without them, we remain unable to change for the better. And although taking risks alone is important, we all must continue to remember that we have each other to lean on for support. As we move forward into our upcoming high school years, it is vital to do so regardless of where each of us end up. Ever since the whole testing markers fiasco in 4th grade, I have realized that I am constantly surrounded by people who I can laugh with, but also be supported by. This was not the only occurrence that made me realize the unity that our grade possesses. Remembering the time we belted out Gladys Gusman in our Judy B. Jones musical to conclude our final year of lower school. Even when we created interesting names for each advisor throughout our 6th grade year. Even last year when almost all of us got close to falling down 30-foot trees at Treetop Adventures to start 7th grade year off. Then the awkward slow dancing at our many socials. And even last year when I even became a furry in my speech you discussed, I think we can say we've gone through it all. But it is important to acknowledge that we are not those same people from these memories that I've just mentioned. For as Mr. Cronenberg in practice reminded us, no person ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river and they're not the same person. Because we've stayed unified throughout these years, we have all been able to grow tremendously while having the ability to rely on each other and laugh with each other. The most recent example of our harmony as a grade was our perseverance through the challenges that COVID-19 bestowed upon us. We have had an 8th grade experience unlike any other grade here at Milton, yet we were still able to support each other and make each other laugh through the barriers of cohorts. Our ability to make it through many hardships is one of the most valuable things that we have and cannot forget moving on to next year. This year has been like no other for students, teachers, and staff alike. I'd like to thank the staff for doing everything in their ability to make sure that we're safe, but also able to learn. Thank you to the teachers for not only providing us with an amazing learning experience this year and working through remote learning last year, but also encouraging us to all become change makers and become disruptors in our communities. Finally, I would like to thank the graduating class of 2025. All of you have tremendously influenced me, and I'm so thankful that I made that risk to come to Milton. Now moving forward, we must carry on the sense of togetherness we have fostered these past years, as we're definitely going to need it. But as I look out and see this class, I'm reminded of what we've done and what we're capable of. Dimensional analysis. And I'm certain that this grade will continue to enact change when handling risks we might face moving forward. So remember this for next year. Whether you're gone or still here, continue to support each other, for we're in this together. Thank you.
Thank you for those thoughtful and inspiring words, James. Kenzie Carty is our second student speaker today. Classmates noted her kindness as well as her consistent engagement and active participation in our community. Kenzie simply shows up and gets things done. She was selected, as one classmate put it, for her profound impact on our community. It is her genuine care for her classmates and for this community that led her peers to identify her as a student they would like to represent them here today. Please welcome Kenzie to the stage.
As we come to the closing of this year, we were tasked in social studies to write letters to our graduating senior selves. In addition to writing a letter for ourselves, we had at least one friend, a teacher, and a guardian or parent write one. Although these time capsules may not be of significance to us now, over these next 4 years, so much is going to change. And therefore, we will cherish what life was like this year. In light of this assignment, I decided to write my closing ceremony speech through a letter to you all, the graduating class of 2025. To to be opened 4 years from now. Dear the future graduating class of 2025, congratulations on finishing 12th grade. You did it. You finished high school. How does it feel? I have been dreaming of that day since I arrived at Milton Academy. Is it all that we imagined it would be? I have so many questions to ask all of you. How does it feel to be an adult? What was high school like? And most importantly, what have you learned? With all that set aside, I'm writing this letter to you 4 years before it should be opened. Through it, I hope you're able to look back and realize all the messy, crazy, and dramatic days resulted in such a great experience. At Milton Academy, so many people influenced my life and where I am today. To all those who are here in my 4th grade year, my deepest apologies for bringing back these memories. Now, imagine a room filled with apple cider and a lot of problems. That about sums up our lower school experience. If you're perplexed, I can't explain. To all those who are here in my 6th grade year, imagine the advisory rivals, children convincing their ever-so-poor parents to trek to the local supermarket or Dunkin' Donuts to please a crazy group of strange and bewildering 11 and 12-year-olds. To the parents, I'm so sorry. To those who came in my 7th grade year, let's all take a moment of silence for the fallen countries of the internet phenomenon diplomacy. Rest in peace. To you, the current 8th graders when this letter was written, let me give you a picture of this year. Imagine a quote wall. Smurfs, Peppa Pig, and the national anthem. I'll give you a minute to process that. Although you may not be able to remember the significance of all these words, by the look of your younger self's faces, they were all memories worth keeping. All our past years were crazy. However, nothing can compare to what we went through this year. To start off, we were separated by cohorts. Essentially, cohorts divided our grade up into 4 groups, which you probably remember. This meant that throughout the year, I almost never saw 3/4 of my grade. This taught us so many great lessons. The importance of friendship, the importance of technology, and the importance of staying connected. Most of all, we learned how to make change and how to be disruptors. We learned the importance of standing up for things that made our blood boil and think that is wrong. I can see the fire in all my fellow 8th grade years to create change. I hope you still have that fire in you. Although most of the people I will be reading this letter to have the privilege of eating 3 meals a day using technology, and in the case of this year, being able to go to school in person, 99% of the world doesn't. Doesn't our privilege force us to have to make a change? Although you've been reminded of this throughout your 8th grade year, I want to reiterate. In your lifetime, I need you to understand that the world won't change because it'll realize its mistakes. It will only change when someone shows it how to. For example, a few weeks ago, although it is more like 4 years ago for you, we had a speaker come into his class. His name was Alex Palacios Santos. I can't even begin to explain his experiences. He went through something I never thought possible for one human, one kid, to have been able to go through. Although it is not my story to tell, I only want to say that what he was able to accomplish was incredible. Being only a sophomore at Milton, he had immigrated to the U.S., faced abuse, being silenced, and depression, and still made an impact on our Milton Academy community. Thousands of other changemakers throughout the world have that same eagerness. So, what I'm trying to say is when you see something wrong and you're passionate about changing it, just do it. It really isn't that hard to make a change. It can even be as simple as helping someone when they're not feeling themselves, or realizing that kind words are more impactful than anything else. Just do whatever you need to do to get the message across that what you saw, witnessed, heard, or experienced was wrong. Always remember that you are leading the way for more people to follow. Although the path I'm walking leads away from Milton Academy, I need all of you to continue making change in your communities. Through this letter, I also want you to remember great kids we have this year. You are all amazing people. You are all awesome friends. You all make me smile on a daily basis. Whomever you may be around for the next 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, and above, encourage them to make change too. Because we all need a little rekindling at some points. Sincerely, Kenzie Carty, 4 years ago. P.S. 8C is still the best.
What does it mean to show up? It means putting in the extra hours.
Guys, why don't we just do it? We won. That's all we did.
Ask questions.
Get out and get your bread up. They always leaving you, but you run together. Way of the world.
Thank you so much to everyone involved, students and members of the Parents Association, for putting both that video and the slideshow together. And now, it's time to award the certificates to the grade 8 class of 2021. Students, just a couple of quick reminders before we jump into this. When I call your advisory, please come forward to the stage and wait for your name to be called by your advisor. Please make sure, parents and families, I've instructed them, to pause, look out when you're handed your certificate so your families can soak in the moment and maybe snap a few pictures as well. All right, I would like to welcome up the Landau Advisory.
Eli Gwyn Landry. Davis Collins. Henry Ladd. Zachary Morin. Grace O'Malley. Sarah Price.
I would now like to welcome up the Roadie Advisory.
Madeline Emmett. Hampton Knight. Connor McGurk. Joseph Masali. Alyssa Ruiz. Claire Sheehan. And although he couldn't make it today, we want to recognize Noah Sitnoff.
We'll now welcome up the Cronenberg Advisory.
Flossie Grant. Bella Kovalevsky. James McAvoy. Charlotte Monick. Gus Vogel. Lucas Westphal. Charlie Wick.
I'd now like to welcome the West Johnson Advisory.
Rowan Kane. Nicholas Chaser. Alessi Jelani. Emily Ma. Molly Sheehan. Camden Wallace.
Let's welcome up the Vasquez Advisory.
Devin Agarwal. Kenzie Carty. Callum Hegarty. Anna Lawrence. Inmar McLaughlin.
Let's have the Matthew Advisory come up to the stage.
Olivia Boulder. Max Donovan. Miles Evans. Amona Jefferson. Leah Phillips. Gavin Thomas. Lexi Zinni.
All right, let's welcome up the Christopher Advisory.
Charlotte Cristiano. Ryan Farrisall. McKenna Flowers. Fiona McNaught. Nathaniel Mason. Axel Portnoy. Saharla Youssef.
And our final advisory, the Troy Advisory.
Andy Bly. Camilla Butler. Dean Ibrahim. Simon Peacock. Anna Schmaltz. Amelia Spenta. Jack Winter.
Congratulations, everyone. Can we stand and get a huge round of applause to the entire... I would now like to welcome Head of School Todd Bland to share some remarks with us this morning.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. It's wonderful to be among all of you, and such a pleasure to be with you, 8th graders, soon to be 9th graders. I will not take too long because I know I'm the only thing standing between you and a wonderful and well-deserved summer, but just a few reflections. So this is the first time that I've worn a bow tie in a year. I wear my bow tie in tribute to my grandfather, who was a doctor, but I have to be in a special mood to be able to put it on. And I haven't had, and it's a mood of actually joy and confidence and excitement. And I'll be honest with you, it's been, I haven't felt the ability to do it until today. And there are a number of reasons for that I think we all are very well aware of. Not only did I put on the bow tie, but I have my happy socks on as well. So that's good. But I want to share a few reflections with you 8th graders in particular. A lot of moments like this, understandably, have us focus on the past, what's happened in the past, and a real tribute to you and all that you've accomplished, well-deserved praise. Of course, you're probably thinking a lot about the future as well, high school upcoming, and that's exciting. There's a lot to look forward to. But one of the things that we have a hard time doing is not forgetting about the present. It's actually one of the things that the COVID pandemic provided for us. That in fact we had to stop a bit more. If you want to know about those students who I worry most about when they leave Milton, It is not the students who have had seeming, difficult, let's say a difficult path throughout, for various reasons, and some really significant challenges. I worry more about those who have a seemingly kind of blissful and almost easy pathway through. That's wonderful to celebrate as well. But one of the things that I know about all of you in this year in particular, and actually your generation, is you have struggled. You've struggled for some regular reasons, normal reasons for middle school, but you've lived through not only the COVID pandemic, but also the extraordinary challenges of racial injustice that we're confronting as a nation and the world. And you have faced those things head on. You've been inspirational to your classmates, to your principal, to your head of school, to the faculty, to your parents. You've done so much in your young lives. And your lives are really just beginning. So in fact, as we come out of a pandemic, a global pandemic like this, make sure that you acknowledge what has happened and that you take the gifts that actually it has given in a strange way with you. And hopefully one of those is to make sure that you are present. That actually on a day like today, your main responsibility is to just be here, right now, with the people that surround you, your amazing teachers and advisors and coaches, your parents and your grandparents and your friends. We are all here on this day to celebrate you. And you deserve to soak that in. And I'll tell you, one of the great pleasures of sitting up here during that slideshow, I couldn't really see the screen too well, so I just focused on all of you. And the joy and the laughter in those moments made me happier than I've been in a long, long time. Yet one more gift that you've given to people around you. So don't forget that. Don't forget the things that you've learned during your middle school years here, during this year in particular, this extraordinary year, where you have indeed faced loss and sadness and challenge and isolation. And you have come through, and you are stronger as a result of it. You are stronger as a result of what you have gone through. And that you will carry forward from this point forward. And that, what I'm so excited about for your class, is a leadership capacity that you will bring into the upper school. So I think most importantly, with bow tie on, happy socks on, join me in a celebration. And everyone present, join the children here in the celebration of this very moment. Just soak it in and be happy. Because we know things can be taken in an instant. And so it is our responsibility to live and to love with abandon. And so do that on this day. And have a wonderful day at that. Congratulations. Taking this happiness thing seriously. I love it. It's fantastic. I do have one official duty that I would actually like to do before I move to the side. And that is actually on behalf of the faculty and staff and the Board of Trustees to promote. So, 8th grade class of 21, would you please rise? It is now my great privilege and honor, 8th grade class of 2021, on behalf of the faculty and staff and your principal, the Board of Trustees, to promote you into the 9th grade and to high school, and now, moving forward, the class of 2025. Congratulations.
As we close out this morning's program, I just want to acknowledge, really take time and acknowledge a few groups of people and specific individuals who have made today possible, really this year possible. First and foremost, I want to thank the entire middle school faculty and staff. This year has been a really incredible journey. I could not think of a more collaborative, caring, hard-working group of educators than those who are under this tent and who have supported your children over the last 3 years. The success of this year is a direct result of their commitment and passion for teaching and working with middle schoolers. I am humbled by their perseverance in the face of these unprecedented circumstances. I think we can all feel really, really proud of the program we delivered this year. So congratulations again. To the grade 8 team of advisors and teachers, you all have gone above and beyond to make the end of this year special for the students. There have been so many last-minute details to pull together for today, and you all took the initiative to put extra touches on this ceremony to make it so meaningful. Likewise, to all of the grade 8 parents who stepped in to help create really meaningful and celebratory opportunities for this class, including last Friday's really wonderful social. Thank you to all of you for chipping in and helping out. Ms. Vasquez, your tireless efforts and amazing leadership made this year such a success. And all of us are really going to miss you this year. You are an incredible educator, and the impact you've had on the students and your colleagues is nothing short of extraordinary. I would also like to thank Mr. Bland and our 2 student speakers, James McAvoy and Kenzie Carty, for their contributions. As well as the students, particularly Nick Jason, and faculty and families involved in putting the video and slideshow together. Really well done. Thank you. I just want to acknowledge so much of what you see here today, from the invitation to the programs, the sketch of where inside the certificates, the banners, it's all been student-driven, and it really is spectacular to see. Your creativities, your contributions are a testament to your skill, care, and thoughtfulness that has embodied your class. So thank you all for your contributions to this ceremony. Behind the scenes, I'd like to acknowledge Ms. Healy, Mr. Morvillo, and the entire technology team for their assistance, Mr. Zanino and the facilities team, campus safety, Ms. Bonarigo and Ms. Butler with campus events for setting up this wonderful setting and making it possible for us to actually gather in person. So a huge round of applause. Additionally, I want to name a few people who have worked tirelessly in the middle school office on so many details of this event, including the support teachers and support staff, particularly Miss V, Rebecca Vieira, and Miss Sitkoff, Bridget Sitkoff, who have really gone above and beyond to help out with setting up for this event. Finally, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to Sam Cristoforo, our middle school operations manager, and Jackie Harvey. Ms. Cristoforo, you have been an invaluable resource to me, the entire middle school faculty and staff, and I can say every single family that's here today from the moment that they were welcomed into the middle school 3 years ago. We thank you so much for everything you do. Ms. Hardaway, finally, you have been an incredible thought partner this year. Your vision for this event inspired so many people to make it a reality, and we thank you for all you do for the adults, and most importantly, the students in our community. All right, grade 8 class of 2021, congratulations. I am so proud of you, and I look forward to supporting you on your journey ahead. In a moment, I'm going to ask all of you to rise and recess out of the tent. I know we practiced this yesterday, so we'll do it well. Families, once the 8th graders are all on the field, please join them for photos, the opportunity to gather informally, and as Mr. Bland just said, just soak this up, be together, enjoy, and celebration. At this time, grade 8 students, please rise. We will begin the reception. Thank you, everyone. At the back of the tent, please grab a box that has your child's name on it, with some mementos in that, as well as the flags that have your child's face on them. Those are for you to keep, so please make sure to take those as well. Thank you.